Hi everybody, it's Vanessa and I'm so excited to be here right now. I have been away because I have been having a lot of schoolwork to do. I have been constantly working at my job with this small position that I've taken on. I've had so many requests to do a talk through tutorial because I don't necessarily like to do them so much because it's hard for me to concentrate and give you guys a thorough and in-depth tutorial. So today I took my time and I created a tutorial just for you. I'm so excited about this palette right here. If you don't have this palette and you are a brown skinned girl out there, I would suggest you go pick it up. This is the Tartelette in Bloom palette, and oh my gosh, it is so worth the price point. It comes with this huge, gigantic mirror, so you can take this with you on the go. I love it because it has so many colors in it, and these colors, Tarte's color eyeshadows, are amazing. Absolutely amazing. Now, the great thing about this palette is not only does it come with a nice set of browns, you get nice flesh tone colors, you also get a plethora of browns in two very shimmery shades that are absolutely amazing, you guys. They have this color called Firecracker. I don't know if you can see that, but this color, the color payoff on Firecracker is so intense. Like even when I rub it off my skin, you can still use it. I am a huge fan of Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadows, but I think Tarte is really stepping their game up and giving us this amazing palette. Now this palette does run you in almost the $40 or so range. I did get it from Ulta, but it's worth it. Like the colors are so beautiful. They glide on so smoothly and are super easy to blend. So as soon as I got this palette, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to record some type of tutorial for you guys. So this tutorial features a couple of products that I'm using for the first time. So not only will I be using the Tartelette palette color, I'm using the Jordana Sweet Cream Matte color. This is a liquid lipstick that I got from Walgreens. Now, I don't know what you guys have been doing or if I'm late on this train right now, but these liquid lipsticks are not easy to find. I was only able to put my hands on this color. This color is Pomegranate Pie, and oh my gosh, look at this color on my lips. I'm not using this with any lip liner or anything else besides this lip shade. I did have to take a couple of swipes to get it on, but the color payoff is amazing. Just to give you a quick swatch, look at this on my hand. I don't know if you can kind of see that, but it's super pigmented and it dries. It does take a little second to let it dry, so before you do this, make sure that you go ahead and let this go ahead and dry. I really love this color. I don't recommend reapplying it because it will get a little bit chalky on the skin, but I will say this: you apply this, you like it, wear it going out, you won't have to reapply it at all, okay? But don't eat while you have it, because I went out to eat and oh my gosh, this color was gone and on my food by the time I was done with my meal. So make sure that you always just apply this and only wear it for a few hours. Take it off completely and then reapply. Now back into this makeup look. I'm coming to you with this springtime look using the Tartelette palette. I was so inspired by this palette that I had to bring the color. I'm only using 4 colors from this palette, guys, and this was super easy. And like I said, I like to do tutorials that are beginner friendly just because I'm a beginner and I want to be able to help people just like me. So if you have any questions, or if you like this look, or you like to see me try any new products, my information is always in the description bar below. I'm so excited with summer coming. Like I said, I'm a teacher, so I also have a vlog video for you guys that I recorded of me and my students, so you'll be able to see what it's like and how I look at work. So if you would like to see how I achieve this bronzy spring look featuring the Tartelette palette, then keep on watching. Okay, so before I start any makeup application on my face, what I like to do is go in with some type of moisturizer. Right now I'm using the Nivea Soft Moisturizing Cream. Okay, now that I have the moisturizer on my face, what I like to go in next is with my Estee Lauder Advanced Repair Eye. And I place this right under my eyes because the areas under here from applying makeup and washing my face, it really gets really dry. And it makes my skin kind of crack right here to where I get dry patches and places of redness. So I just take a little bit of this on my finger and I just let that settle in there over those spots where it's extremely irritating. What this does is just deflates the eyes and moisturizes it even further so that when you have your makeup on, you don't have those nasty dry patches, which I absolutely hate. What I'm going to do is go in now with the primer. Now, my skin is combination to dry skin. So what happens usually is I'll get oily in the T-zone area and especially right here, especially when I have bangs. So what I like to do is go in with the Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser. And because I like that this acts as a blanket all over the skin, I place this especially in my T-zone area, here, down the middle of my face, any places where I know I'm going to get extremely oily. And then I just rub that out until it gets all over my face. And I am wearing the shade FW1 in bronze. This is a little bit too light for me, but in the winter time it is absolutely perfect. But because the weather has been changing, I've been wearing this foundation and I love it. What I do, however, is mix it with the Maybelline Fit Me foundation. It reminds me kind of like MAC Studio Fix Fluid, but Fluid is just too full coverage for me. So what I like to do is mix these two right on my hand, and then I'm going to take my Morphe M439 brush and just dab the product in my brush and just go ahead and dab it on my skin until I have like an adequate amount. Now, it does look a little too bright for me, but I do like to blend it in. So what I'm gonna do now is just take it and distribute the product just by simply dabbing the foundation all over my skin. Things what I like to do is just go in circular motions just to buff out the foundation. I've been using the Maybelline New York Fit Me Concealer, and this is comparable to the NARS Creamy Concealer, but it's only about $4, so I was like, why not try? I'm always going in with my LA Girl Pro Concealers. I really like these. So I go ahead and I mix these two together, and I'm going to place these underneath my eyes. I like to blend this out with the Real Techniques sponge. I'm going to quickly blend this out. And just to set a base for my eyeshadow, I kind of like to take that concealer upward and put it on my eyelid. Not only does it brighten me up, but it sets the tone for my foundation and my eyeshadow base. And I'll go in with my chin because I really like a highlight on my chin and the bridge of my nose. And just a tad bit. And then what I like to do is go back in with my Morphe brush and just go ahead and set that in some more, just to blend it out with my foundation. Now I use two types of powders to set my under eye. The first powder that I use is the Sasha Buttercup Setting Powder. I'm going to take the sponge that I use for my under eye concealer, and I'm just going to set it under my eye. I also like to take that same powder and put it to set my eyeshadow base, so that when it's time for my eyeshadow, I will be good to go. Make sure to set my chin, the bridge of my nose, and my forehead. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to contour my face using the LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Chestnut, just to carve out my cheeks a little. To places in my face that I want to contour. Now I do kind of go heavy on the contour on my forehead because it is so big, but I like chestnut because it doesn't really it's not such a harsh contour color. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the same blending sponge that I use, and I'm going to just quickly blend this out around the perimeter of my head. Make sure that's nice and bronzed up. So even if your foundation doesn't necessarily match, when you kind of contour a little bit, it kind of brings back your color. Now I'm going to go back in with my blending brush and just go ahead and blend that out. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set my contour. What I'm going to take is my Makeup Forever Pro Sculpting Duo in the shade 2, and I really like this because not only does it provide you with the highlight, but it also gives you a nice contour shade. So I'm going to use a nice angled brush, and I'm going to just dab it in there really quickly, and I'm just going to set that contour. What I'm going to use to set the remaining of my face is the L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Powder in the shade W7. So I'm just going to take this and kind of just bring everything together. Alright, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take the Laura Mercier powder, and I like this in the little travel size. Don't be afraid of translucent powder. Anybody can use it, dark skinned to light. It just depends on your ability to blend it. I'm going to take this under my eye one more time. And this is like just a finishing powder, just to bring everything together. And I'm just going to dust away any excess powder. I'm so excited to start on my eyes. For my eyes is the Tartelette palette in Bloom. I gave myself a nice even flesh tone color, so I'm going to go in with the color Smarty Pants, and I like it because it's like the same color as my skin. And I'm going to just use this as a nice flesh tone base so that everything can be nice and soft. Now I'm going to keep this look very, very simple. Take a Morphe M505 brush, and I'm going to use this to carve out my transition area. And for the transition area, I'm going to use a shade called Rebel. And it is like a light clay color, which is so nice. I'm going to just blend this back and forth in windshield wiper motions. Now I have like a big eyelid, so I like to bring the transition area up as much as possible, but still leaving a little space for my brow bone to pop. Now I'm going to blend that out as much as possible and move on to the other eye. Make sure when you are putting on eyeshadow that you, in order to avoid applying so much, kind of tap it on the top of the compact. So I'm going to use a Morphe M433 brush, and I like this because it fits directly in the crease. And for that, I'm going to use the color Leader. And Leader is like this beautiful burgundy brown shade, which I really, really like. Again, I'm going to tap it and go ahead in the transition. Starting with the outer corner, you always want to start from the outside and bring it in. And I'm just going to keep this on the outside and blend it out to the center of the lid. go in circular motions to blend out any harsh lines. Then I'm going to go in with a blank brush, and this brush has absolutely no product on it, and I kind of just like to use this as a diffuser, so taking any of those harsh lines from both and kind of blending them together. I see this color called Firecracker, and it is an amazing bronzy color, and because I want to keep this look really warm, I'm going to just pack this on the lid. Now don't just swipe the color on the lid, you always want to continue to pack it on. When you pack it on, you maximize the color power from the palette without using too much product. Look at that color. And this, I've only used so far 4 colors on my lid. Quick, easy, and straight to the point. Again, I'm going back in with the color Rebel and the Morphe 505 brush, and I'm just going to blend out the color on my lid with my crease and transition shade, so everything blends out beautifully. Before I apply my blush, I like to go in and apply my highlight. Going back in with the Makeup Forever Pro Sculpt Duo, I like to take the highlighted shade, and with my Morphe M501 brush, which is an amazing highlight brush, I just like to go in and apply my highlight. I like to put the highlight on top of my lid because it kind of gives it like a little bit of plumpiness. I like to put it on the bridge of my nose, and don't be afraid of the highlight. I love it. Put it on the bridge of my nose just to give it a little shine. But as always, that's not enough highlight for me, so I like to go in with the loose gold bronze pigment by MAC brush, tap off any of the excess, and go in one more time. And now this long time, I have been in love with Milani's Luminoso. So because I want to keep it warm and bronzy to go with this eyeshadow look, I'm going to go ahead and use the Luminoso blush. So I'm going to place this to the apples of my cheeks. A waterline with the same color I used for my transition. So using the color Rebel, I'm just going to go underneath my eyes and kind of just sweep this under there. Now the trick to this is to always look up so that you can get right under that eye without having so much fallout. Now I did experience a little bit of fallout, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in with my stippling brush and kind of just sweep away any of that. I'm going to use my Estee Lauder Sumptuous Mascara. Oh my gosh, this mascara is so bomb. My upper lashes. I don't have a lot of lashes, but I like this because it adds volume to my lashes prior to me applying my falsies. Looking up again, just so I don't get any mascara all over my eyes. I'm going to place that there. Now that I'm done, I'm going to go ahead, apply some falsies, and I'll be right back. In the light of spring, for my lips, I'm going to place the Jordana Sweet Cream Matte. So if you notice on the Tarte palette, it is this beautiful pink and purple shade. So I thought, why not pair with something just as beautiful? I'm just gonna wait until the color dries down to its desired pigment. Okay, now that that has dried down to a shade that I like. I will say this lipstick is really drying. I would not perch the lips, like close them and open them, because then you'll transfer the lipstick upwards and you don't want to do that. I do recommend, however, you just let it dry for a while and then proceed to talk or even perch the lips if you have. What to do now is I'm going to set the face, and this is especially important, especially if you want to wear this makeup. What I'm going to use is the Urban Decay All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray, and this is in the long lasting travel size. I like it lasts a while. So what I'm gonna do is spray upwards and give myself a couple of sprays. Just ensuring myself that everything stays nice and in place, and I just let that dry down.